Agents in Microsoft Purview are coming. What are they all about? Let's check it out together. In the Purview portal, we need to navigate to the side and click on Agents, and we can see Security Copilot agents. In the overview, there's no agent activity yet because I've not set anything up, and it looks very, very sparse. What it tells us it's going to do is monitor performance and manage setup and access for all agents deployed in your organization. And you can learn more about agents by clicking on the link here. Now, as a next step, we can actually click Explore Agents here or right from within the overview screen. If we do so, we are going to see some agents that we can take a look at configuring. First, we've got the Data Security Posture Agent, which is in preview. I always need to strongly add a disclaimer here about preview features. Do be very, very careful with them because their functionality is by no means guaranteed and can potentially change. So what's this agent, albeit in preview, all about? Well, it's to help scale up data security admins as they proactively find credential risks and stay on top of dynamic data and risk landscape within the organization. The other one that we've got is the Data Security Triage Agent, not in preview according to this, which is to prioritize high-risk DLP and insider risk management alerts and lets you remediate sensitive data from DLP alerts. So we've got two different iterations in here. We've got the DLP one, the insider risk one. We'll start by having a look at each of these and click on View the Details. Now, it gives you more information about what it's going to do here. It tells you what the trigger is. The agent is going to run automatically based on a set schedule or manually on one alert at a time. For permissions, what happens is you'll create a new agent identity or use an existing user identity with these required permissions, which we can see here. Access policy configurations and settings in DLP, read activities and events in Purview, read file content and metadata involved in DLP alerts, and store user feedback and apply feedback when evaluating DLP alerts. It tells you about the products, where they're managed, and the agent results will be available within Purview and within Defender. Now, it is going to need a workspace. The selected workspace is default. Make sure you're happy and comfortable with workspaces because there may well be costs implied here as you're using these agents. But let's go and click on Setup and see what we've got. Okay, once deployed, the agent will start running with all DLP policies in scope. You're able to deactivate it at any time on the agent page, and analysts in the organization can specify which policies the agent should focus on. Choose the trigger. The agent will run manually on one alert at a time or automatically triage based on a set schedule. Now, I'm going to just put it on manually one alert at a time for this example. As we scroll down, we can see that full file evidence is turned off. A nice little alert telling us there it's required for efficiently triaging device DLP alerts. Let's view the settings for that and see if we can quickly enable that. So here we are on the DLP settings, and here we can see setup evidence collection for file activities on devices. This is what we need to activate, and setting up online storage will let you store and collect original files as evidence when a rule matches configured file activities. So we'll just toggle that on if we can. And there we go. Now, we get some choices as a result of that toggle being switched on. We can have the evidence cache on the device set to 60 days, 7 or 30. I'll leave it at the default 60. You got to select storage type of a customer managed store or a Microsoft managed store. I'm going to select the Microsoft managed store. I'm just going to ensure that from memory you don't have to click OK on that, and I don't believe that you do. So that should be everything that we need in order to get that going. And we can view the usage of this as well, actually. So might just be quickly worth clicking on that. So there we go. Storage consumed today. Awesome. So let's close out of that and go back to agents, and we'll just start that process again. I'm going to view the details of the triage agent and DLP. I'm going to go to set it up. For some reason, this is still indicating it's turned off. It may be that just needs a bit of time to sort itself out. I'm hoping that is the case. Now, underneath this, we're getting some warnings that we are going to be charged. Once the agent is deployed, you'll be charged each time it runs. and we can learn how the costs are calculated. I'll not go and do that myself on this video. You're quite capable of finding this and going look at the costs yourself. And underneath that, we can see that the agent will start running with all DLP policies in scope. So analysts can narrow the scope by selecting specific policies, and we can learn more about agent customization. So let's just recap what we've got, and I'm just going to reset that again because it disregarded that because I had to come out of it. I'm going to click on start and let's see where it takes us. So there we go. We can see that the agent is now active and it'll start generating results immediately based on the triggers that we set. To change the settings at any time, we can go to settings or we can go straight to view the results. So let's just go back into settings and see what it says in there now that we have our agent in place. So this is what we get. Agent details, and it gives us our name and description. We can go into agent configuration here and we can see what we've got for this. Configure triage agent DLP, last modified by me. The agent identity is the agent, and the trigger is that it will run manually on one alert at a time. Agent custom instructions, there are none provided at the moment. Why would there be? Because I haven't, but we could edit those and we could put in custom instructions. So the agent will use this info to generate suggested prioritization rationale for the alerts. So we can enter topics and keywords or conditions. We've got some templates for custom instruction here. So generic instruction, focus on, reduce overload, and definitions. Let's see what happens if we put this one in. Classifiers with definition, enter the classifier name and the definition intended. Focus on alerts related to, okay, I see what it's doing there. So I'm not going to get into the weeds of that for this particular video, but that's good to know that that's there. We can provide feedback, or rather we can view and manage user feedback and agent learning for this agent. So for this agent, it looks like we can get some feedback in here from the users, and then usage monitoring. Okay, so what this is going to do, it's going to take us into Security Copilot. And at this stage of the game, it's going to ask me for a security capacity, because even though I've got E5 on my tenant, that doesn't necessarily mean that I have Security Copilot enabled yet, because that is a rolling out process that Microsoft are going through at the moment, in case you didn't know, between the months of April and June. So it'll, if you've got E5, and you're not seeing Security Copilot just yet, just watch out in your message center. Let me show you what I mean by that. Going off slightly on a tangent, but I think it's important that we look at this. So if we go into, if we just show all that, and if we go into settings and find the, it's actually in health rather, it's message center, that's where we want to be. I want to search in here for Security Copilot. If I put that in, we can see here the notice of what I've just been talking about. Security Copilot will be included as part of your E5 plan soon. And here we go, telling you exactly what I just said, that it will be included as part of a phased rollout from April the 20th to June 30th, providing 400 security compute units per 1,000 users and core agentic features across Microsoft security products. So quite helpful. So with that being said, I doubt very much if I'm going to be able to do much with this, because, oh, that's just taking me into Security Copilot again. Let's just go back into here, and I'd be very, very surprised. It says it's active, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything with it. It tells us there's no recent activity. We've got overview and performance. It's not going to tell us anything there because we've literally just set that up. Agent configuration, we can do it from there. And okay, so I don't think we're going to be able to do an awful lot with that right now by the looks of it. It's probably one to check back on a little later in a follow-up video. So we'll leave it there for now. Quick little addendum. I was about to stop filming completely and get to editing when I spotted here that we can open in solution. Now, it doesn't get me much further, but I just wanted to show you this before we close this off completely. If I open in solution, we can see that we get right into the data loss prevention solution right here within Purview and into alerts. Now, you'll see here that we have two views here. We've got triage agent and the standard view. We can toggle back to the standard view, which I'm very familiar with. But if we go into triage agent, we now have this new view here where we can, in time, run the agent to get more insights on the alerts and deal with them effectively. So you can see here that the run agent is available only when I click on one of the DLP policies, which is under the scope of scoped to agents. So let's try and run that agent, and you'll be running the agent again for one alert. Each successive run will use additional security compute units. Now, I'm going to bet that it won't let me do this because I don't have Security Copilot enabled as SCUs, and my E5 hasn't quite kicked in yet, as we saw from the message center. So I think I'm going to hit a brick wall. Let's see what it does. Now it says triaging, which is interesting. If it's going to do this, I'll be very interested to know how, but I'm going to strongly suspect that it will give me a computer says no response. Now, after a few moments, we can see that the triaging message just simply disappeared. So if that was working, I would certainly expect to see a bit more in the way of results there. If I open that up, I doubt very much if we'll see an awful lot more, but let's have a see. The alert hasn't been triaged by the agent yet. You can wait for this. So yeah, I think that's fair to say, an educated guess, that it just can't right now because it's got no SCUs that can process it. But you get the idea of what to expect. And as I said, you can be sure I'll revisit this when I'm able to demo it fully. So there you go. I couldn't quite show you as much as I wanted to there, but you can be assured that I will follow up once I've let that settle and do another video to see where it goes. You can be certain I'll be keeping an eye on the charges that I incur as well, because I don't want to have that in my demo tenant. But promising, I think, great indications that we're going to get some agent goodness within Purview, and I'm all for that, because anything that makes our lives easier is going to be fantastic, of course, and give us that view that we need quickly and effectively and efficiently to make sure we've got a safe and compliant Purview environment. Enough of that from me anyway. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, as it really does help me to grow the channel. I'll see you on another video very, very soon. There's lots of good stuff to come up on the channel, including a collaboration or two, which I'm very excited about. Stay tuned and take care. Stay safe. Do travel well. Bye-bye.